Welcome in, guys. It is Brad with College SportsCast. We're here to do Game Day Pick'em, Week 13, Season 3. All right, guys, welcome back. It is Brad with College SportsCast. We're here to do our College SportsCast Game Day Pick'ems. It's Week 13 of college football, which means it's Week 13 for us as well. Season 3. I've got John Hammonds on with me right now. John Roberts will be on his way. He said he was setting up. We are running a few minutes behind. We watched Kentucky play and running a few minutes behind than we normally do tonight, but we are here to make our picks for the week. If you are on Facebook with us, you can help support us by sending stars, or you can subscribe to our Facebook page. It's only 99 cents a month, and it does help us earn money to continue to make content for you guys. Turn that down, Hammonds.
I'm sorry.
I can hear myself. It's confusing.
Well, I was trying to share the.
I got you.
Oh goodness!
But I can hear myself. It was crazy.
Brad's like, I'm hearing myself speak. Oh goodness! Oh me!
All right. So, again, John Roberts will be here in just a few minutes, and we're going to get this rolling for you guys. I think I have 9 college football games for you this week, and either 6 or 7 college basketball games for us this week to pick. So that's where we're going to start. We're going to start with, of course, football.
I'd like to run through these pretty quick. Arizona plays here in a few minutes.
Yeah, and Baylor and Tennessee's playing here in a few minutes as well. We are going to pick that game, both of those games. So I agree with you. I do kind of want to run through these kind of tonight as well, and at least get our picks in for the week. We do use DraftKings for our picks. I have 9 college football games. Most of these will have some kind of ramifications on the college football playoff. That is some of the games that I picked for this week. Of course, we're going to start with the big noon kickoff. We got Indiana at Ohio State. This is a huge game, top 5 college football playoff rankings here between this matchup. Ohio State is at home, and they are a 10.5-point favorite on DraftKings this evening. When I looked, Hammonds, Indiana's getting their big shot here. They're 10-0. They've had a great season. They're number 5 college football playoff rankings. Do they have a shot at the shoe?
They do, but I don't think they win. Thing is, Ohio State has thrived behind quarterback Will Howard. Their offensive line has allowed just 12 sacks on the year. Losing their center, Seth McLaughlin, has been huge and could loom large. With an Indiana defense that's kind of built to disrupt. Indiana's defensive grit and the way they play and the way they throw the ball around, I think should keep this one close. I think this line's a little high, to be honest. I think Indiana covers, but the spread. But I think Ohio State wins this game. But I think the Hoosiers will make this game a fight. I think this will come down to a fourth quarter game. I think this Indiana team is better than people give them credit for. They're not in the top 5 for nothing.
Yeah, I do too, to be honest with you. And John Roberts, I'm going to throw this one to you like this. I know that most of this world is thinking that Ohio State's going to win this game. What would happen if the Hoosiers go into the shoe and give Ohio State their second loss? Just say what if. That's all I'm saying.
So Ohio State would still be an at-large bid for the most part, I think.
You think they'd still be in the top 12?
Yes.
Top 10?
I don't like it. I don't agree with it, but I think that they will be. I think if we're being honest here, I think Ohio State stays in the top 12 and is still within the realm of getting an at-large bid. Does that knock them out of the Big Ten championship? Losing two Big Ten?
It would.
Yeah, because it would be what, Indiana versus Oregon, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So then, yeah. So Ohio State would still be probably the third team from the Big Ten. I think the Big Ten would still get three teams. They would get the two teams that were in the championship plus Ohio State. I don't.
Maybe Penn State.
Well,
maybe.
We'll see, because I really think that Penn State.
We'll see, because I mean, but in this game, it is this game does have a lot of ramifications for the college football playoff.
Right, it does.
Yeah.
You missed one game that should have ramifications for the playoff too. There's a game you didn't put on here.
Okay.
You know exactly which one.
You're going to tell me Miami?
No.
You're going to tell me Miami and Wake Forest?
No. That game doesn't matter.
Okay. I thought you were going to tell me that game.
No. Texas A&M.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. I probably should have put them on there. But don't they play like Mississippi State or somebody? Terrible.
Yeah, like Auburn. I don't know. They go to Auburn, Jordan Hare at night. Texas A&M.
Auburn.
It's all
my bad. I'm sorry.
You got UK there playing another Texas team, but we don't have
Mississippi State plays. Mississippi State plays Missouri.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Missouri's I thought it was Mississippi State. Yeah,
no, Missouri's out, so don't have to worry about that one.
Okay, I'll take the blame for that one. But pick this game.
I'm going Indiana to cover.
Indiana to cover. All right. It seems like that's the thing here is everybody wants to take Indiana to cover. I think it's going to be won and lost in the trenches, and I think McLaughlin, whatever his last name is, Seth, the center, is going to bode huge make a difference.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a difference, because I think you may have.
And I really want to pick
bad snaps.
Pick Indiana to win here. Like I really kind of do.
Yeah, I mean, I want to as well, but
man,
I'm going to
Ohio
definitely
State
say
team
that they're going to cover.
Has so much talent. I do think Ohio State wins. I'm going to go with the crowd here, though, and pick Indiana to at least cover the spread.
So while we're plugging Indiana, we might as well just plug one of our of our partners.
They are
the
home
field apparel, because Connor, an Indiana grad, is the one that started Home Field Apparel, and it came from an Indiana football game, I believe, in 2015 or so. They've posted up their launch, or like how they got started, reintroduced themselves. But it is an apparel company, a vintage collegiate apparel company, where they have a bunch of vintage logos and stuff like that. Very comfortable shirts. They have joggers,
mascots,
jackets, hats,
logos.
Yeah, all that stuff. I mean, socks. They've got everything. But it started out with T-shirts, and that's what they're known for, is the soft, comfortable T-shirts. And they've got every team out there that you could think of, over 180 teams, and use promo code CSCast if you are a first-time buyer from the site for 15% off And if your team's not on there, go blame your team. Don't blame home field.
Yes, check them out. They make great stuff, and we would appreciate that. And it gives you 15% off at Home Field Apparel. All right, second game we're going to talk about is Ole Miss is a 12-point favorite at the Swamp versus the Gators. The Gators have played a lot better than I think a lot would give them credit for, Hammonds. Do you think they have a chance at home in this game against top 10 Ole Miss? Number 8, I believe.
I don't think, Ole Miss to me has been one of the hottest teams in the country over the last month. I think they'll show that in this game.
Jackson Dart has been playing really well.
Yeah, their offense has been elite. Gators, to me, don't have the depth, I don't think, to slow them down. And the Gators have some problems of their own on the offensive side. They're leaning on a freshman quarterback. I think adjusting to the speed of Ole Miss.
Just coming back from an injury, too.
Well, and the speed of Ole Miss's defense, I think, will be a challenge at home. They just beat Georgia at home by 18 a few weeks ago. So I think they'll take care of business here, and I think they'll cover the spread.
All right. John Roberts, do you give the Gators a chance at home?
I do chance at home because I think that so both of them are coming off of big wins right here. You've got Ole Miss that has just beaten Georgia at home, top team, potentially knock them out of the playoffs. We don't know. They're kind of right there on the border with the Florida
beat LSU
with the ranking, and Florida took care of business with LSU. LSU is kind of spiraling out of control, but Florida, at the beginning of the season we thought they might only get 3 wins for the season, and they are on the verge of bowl eligibility. So that right there, I think at home you got the crowd re-energized because of what they've done, and defensively they've been pretty all right. It's offense that they've had some struggles, and again, Ole Miss. Oh, who was it that they couldn't get to the quarterback? They couldn't get to the quarterback with one of the teams that they played. But it was shoot, I can't even remember who it was. They do have a good defensive line. As far as their defensive line's great and everything like that. I'm not saying they're a bad defensive line. I'm just saying that there was I think it was LSU. They couldn't get to the quarterback against LSU. Right? Is it right? Is that the one?
Yeah.
No, they lost. Right, no. Yeah. But they their losses to Kentucky and then LSU, and I think the LSU one they couldn't get to the quarterback like everybody else could, but this one it just I don't know. It's kind of one of those. The next game, could they have a letdown? And I'm going to go with that. Florida keeps it tight. I think Ole Miss wins. I think Florida keeps it tight.
Okay. Here's the thing with Florida. They're going to go with Lagway here. The way he plays, they're counting on a freshman. At home here, could they stay within the 12 points? I believe they could. However, I think Ole Miss has been running really well the last 3 or 4 weeks. I'm going to say that the Rebels go in there and cover the spread on this one and go with Ole Miss. Then we're going to go with SMU is a 10-point favorite at Virginia. Virginia's 5-5. Hammonds, do you give the Cavaliers a chance here?
No. And I say that because Virginia is very inconsistent. SMU's 32nd in the nation in total offense. They're 9th in scoring defense. And Virginia is 102 in total defense, and they're 85th in the country in scoring defense. They should exploit Virginia, especially with their ability to get to the quarterback. SMU will roll to their 8th straight win Saturday. just because of their offense. So give me SMU in the points.
All right. John Roberts, what do you think on this game?
Yeah, I mean, Virginia's been known more for their defense, but I don't think that they're going to be able to stop SMU on this one, and I think that I think SMU is able to go into Virginia and take care of business and cover the what is it, 10? Yeah, the 10.
10. Yeah.
Yep.
So one thing of note here, Rhett Lashley signed a contract extension today. It just happened today with SMU. So they are trying to keep the man there. He's a great coach, and we'll see what happens with that. But he did sign a contract extension with SMU today. And then the second thing here is SMU is very much still alive. They actually lead, let me repeat that, to the College Football Playoff Committee. They are leading the ACC. They are undefeated in conference and leading the ACC and should be higher, in my opinion. I've been saying that this is now the third week. And that I think they're going to go into Virginia here and take care of business and cover the spread. And I expect to see SMU inside the college football playoff rankings next week. They probably won't, but I'm expecting to see it. All right, Hammonds. I put this on because Texas for sure has playoff ramifications here. Kentucky is at Texas. Texas is a 20-point favorite. But here's my deal. Texas don't have any sexy wins. Like, they have one win that's worth anything, really, and that's Vandy. A 3-point win at home.
Against Vanderbilt.
I mean, so even if they get a big win here at home against Kentucky, it's really not a statement. It's really not saying nothing. So I'm not sure how they stay in the third spot. I really don't. But Hammonds, what say you with Kentucky going out to Austin?
I don't see Texas losing focus in this game. And you know, with a look ahead spot to A&M coming up, if Texas were to lose their last two games, they could be a 3-loss team in the SEC and pretty much fall completely out of the college football playoff. I don't think they're going to let that happen. They beat Mississippi State by 22. They beat Oklahoma by 31. This is sort of in that same range team-wise. Texas, for me, has too much to lose this weekend. They have a top scoring defense. They're going up against one of the worst scoring offenses in the conference. You know, I know Kentucky put up big numbers last week, but Murray State was an FCS school and not a very good one either. Take Texas to cover in this game. I just don't see Kentucky going down there. The issue is if Kentucky can't get off if they're continuing going 3 and out all night, Texas will just wear them down. And you're going to have to put drives together to win this game, and I just don't see Kentucky doing that.
Well, John Roberts, let me ask you this. Kentucky played Georgia to a 13-12 game. They played Ole Miss tight at Ole Miss and beat them 20-17. You know, what happens if Texas wins this game by like 3 or like 7 in the college football playoff committee's eyes? What happens with that?
Nothing. It's sad, but nothing. The record will be.
You don't think it'll matter?
No, unfortunately, no. It won't. It would be funny, but it won't matter. I will laugh, but it won't matter. I wish it would, but it won't. Look at strength of record. They're not They're not paying any attention to strength of schedule. They've got some stupid whatever thing that they're using to do their analytics, and they won't tell anybody. So
I don't really
think
understand it at this point.
I think that they've got a hat. It's going to be a lot like that South Park episode with the Mormons, and Joseph Smith went up into the woods, dum diddy dum dum dum, and he looked into the hat, and he had the prophecy of whatever it was. It's a South Park episode. It's a farce. Nobody really gives a crap about this playoff committee. Yeah. So it doesn't matter. No.
That's a good one, Robert.
They stay exactly where they are.
Oh, goodness.
All right. Do you have them covering the 20 points?
Yes, I have them.
Oh, sorry, Brad. It's just a good one. Oh, goodness, John.
So you said yes, Roberts?
We are tonight's entertainment. Yes.
Oh, goodness.
Yes. All right, guys. I'm going to surprise both of you. I think Kentucky covers the spread here. They play up. They usually play great when they play good competition. They're not winning the game. They're not going to Austin. They're not going to win. I just think they cover a 20-point spread.
So you're saying that Auburn was a bad team?
I think I've told you that before, but yes.
I'm just saying because you said they played up to the competition, but Auburn beat the pants off of them.
Yes.
Sorry.
All right. Colorado is a 2.5-point favorite at Kansas. Kansas 2 weeks ago looked like a much worse team than Kentucky. They were 2-6, but the last 2 weeks, something's happened and they woke up. And now they're 4-6. They beat Iowa State. They've won 2 really good games the last 2 weeks. Does that continue at home for the Jayhawks? Hammonds, what do you think?
Not with the way Shadur Sanders and Travis Hunter are playing right now. The Buffaloes are probably like I said with Ole Miss.
They're crazy, Jonathan. By the way,
they're one of the hottest teams in the country right now. Kansas has been better, but they still struggle to get the run and the pass going like they should.
They beat BYU and Iowa State the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and
just saying.
I think in a game where they're going to have to keep pace with Colorado storm for storm, I don't think they're built to strike fast like that. I think they'll be ready for this game, and I think Colorado covers the spread. Colorado has still got a lot to play for. They're playing for the Big 12 opportunity to play in the Big 12 championship, and I think they continue that this weekend and they take care of business at Kansas.
Okay. What do you think here? Does Prime get it done?
Yes. Prime is going for the Dallas Cowboys job right now. So
he is. Possibly.
Yes.
Yeah. I agree with that.
I think Colorado wins. I think they win.
I'm going to say it. Prime time. Prime time. Prime time. I got to say it at least twice every year, at least. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a given. All right. Listen, I think this is a trap game here, though. Kansas has been playing really well. I am going to take Colorado State here to win this, but I would not be real shocked the way Kansas has played the last 2 weeks if they can win this at home. The next one is Penn State is at Minnesota. Minnesota is one of those teams that is, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. I think they're sitting at 6-4. Fleck usually has them playing well at home. Penn State is a 12-point favorite in Minnesota And I think this is going to be a tougher game than what many expect for Penn State. It's a tough place to play this time of year. Hammonds, do you give the Gophers any shot here?
Yes and no. Just depends on which Penn State team shows up. I know they beat Purdue last weekend, but let's be honest, Purdue is not great.
Purdue's losing to Michigan State right now by 2 touchdowns.
That's what I mean. They're not great.
Right.
It just seems like
bad. Really
it just
bad.
seems like Penn State, when they get in these big games, they play real good against them at times, and then they have little brain farts, like the Ohio State game. And this is a tough road game, I think, this late in the year. But I think Penn State handles business. But I look for Minnesota to cover this game. I even told you this Tuesday on our show. I'm still not a big fan of Penn State in the top 8 of the college football playoff. I don't think they're that great. But you play who you play, and they've won the games that they've needed to win, except Ohio
They're in the
State.
top 4, aren't they? 4?
Yeah, I think they're top 4.
Yeah, they're 4, not 8.
I mean, what I meant, they're in the top 8 of the top. What I mean, they're in that 1 through 8 is what I was saying.
Yeah.
I just don't think
they're way above 8 is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I just don't think they're that
great.
All right,
John Roberts. So, what do you think on this game? Does PJ Fleck, does he row the boat?
So Penn State's strength of schedule is that of an FCS school right now. A group of 5 schools. Sorry, not a
group of 5. It's pretty bad. It is.
It's in the 80s, I think, and I'm trying to remember like who are the schools that are around them. But I've heard this and it's in the 80s, and it's really bad. And if any one of these schools were to lose a game, they're out. Well,
yeah.
And Penn State lost a game, and they're like square right in it, which is dumb.
They're 4th. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, yeah.
And all the metrics, in every metric except for the fact that they are in the top bit for that they're actually ranked in the top 10, states that they should be well below where they are. If Penn State wasn't the name of the school or the name of the team, they would be so far down the list.
It's them in Texas that I think is, if you look at their metrics, I think
right. Texas got blown out by the one team that was worth a dang that they played.
Yeah.
So
yeah. All right, but do you give the Gophers here a chance at home? I mean, this is a decent team. They're 6-4.
I think that they will row the boat. I think they will row the boat, and I think that this is an upset. I believe Minnesota wins straight up.
All right. That's bold. I'll have to say that's bold. I am going to pick Minnesota as well to cover the spread. I don't know if they're going to win this game, but I think they're going to cover the spread here at home. All right. This is a big game for the weekend here. This is I got the Colorado-Kansas game in here, but the winner of this game has a square advantage, especially BYU, to make the Big 12 championship and possibly still have a chance at the college football playoff. Arizona State has surprised a lot of people this year, Hammonds, and they've been playing really well. They're a 3.5-point favorite at home over the one-loss BYU team, Cougars. What do you think here?
I think to me this is going to be a challenge for BYU. Arizona, I think they have the ability to go through the air and the ground with this game with Scatbo. And I don't think the Cougars can match up with that. Take the Sun Devils at home. They'll cover the spread. I think that loss is going to kind of linger over into this weekend with Arizona State.
All right. I mean, that would be a huge after being this deep into the season. That would basically knock BYU out, I'm pretty sure. Yep. So, John Roberts, what do you think?
I am considering Arizona State here. Have you considered Arizona State?
They've been playing well. I have to give them that. New coach.
Yeah, I'm going Sun Devil here.
All right, I'm going to go against you guys. I'm going to take the Cougars. They've had a great season. I hate to see them go down the drain at the very end here. I was very surprised last week, them not handling business against Kansas. I'm going to take the Cougars and give me the 3.5 points in this one. But this is a very dangerous game. Arizona State has played really well, and they are in position to be in the Big 12 championship game, especially if they can get a win here at home. All right, this is another big game, ramifications here, college football playoff. Army is still undefeated. I think they're 19th, 18th, 19th. I think they're 19th, I believe. Notre Dame somehow is number 6. I still don't quite understand that. Their best win is Texas A&M, and they have the worst loss out of all of the teams in the top 15. It's not even close. So the Fighting Irish is a 14-point favorite at home. Does touchdown Jesus have a Hail Mary?
Actually, it's not at home.
It's not. It's in the Bronx.
It's in the Bronx.
Oh,
yep. Yankee Stadium.
Well, I got this off of DraftKings, and they always say at. So,
yeah, it's at the Bronx. I think Notre Dame wins this game. We had this same discussion when they played Navy, and we saw how that happened. Which I think Army is better than Navy when it comes.
I do too, a little bit here,
but Army to me.
But this would be huge for Army if they could get this win. They would still have an outside shot of being the highest ranked group of 5.
The only way Army can win this game, and they understand this, is they can't win or compete without controlling the clock and the tempo in this game. Army has a much better defense, I think, and they've only allowed 14 points just once all year. And Notre Dame has been inconsistent offensively at times, but they have picked it up in the last couple of weeks. They're actually playing a lot better, which I think I'm going to take Army to cover this. But I think Notre Dame wins this game. I just think they're going to have a hard time trying to score with Notre Dame unless they try to control their clock and muck the game up.
That's fair. I mean, that's all fair. For me, it is, I think. So, John Roberts, are you giving Army a chance against the Fighting Irish?
I really, really want to. I do remember going all in on Navy with this game a few weeks ago, and Notre Dame absolutely blowing them out of the water.
It was like 48-14 or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and now we're looking at Army another service academy where they could blow them off the land. It's like I really do want.
You think Army's a little better than Navy?
I think Army may be able to keep it inside the number, maybe lose by 10 as opposed to 14. So I'm going Army inside the number.
Okay. But y'all, in all reality, if Army could pull this upset,
yes,
they would have a real shot at possibly being the highest group of 5. Now, that would mean that Boise State might have to take a loss because they're high enough above them, but they would be right there if Boise State took a loss, even in the championship game. Army might climb them.
Army could jump into the college football playoff, and because you're taking the top the top 5, the auto bids are the top 5, the highest ranked conference champions, that they could jump the Big 12 conference champion, and then you could have Army in the playoff in the Big 12 getting left out.
That's true, because it's not locked in that it has to be the Big 12.
Right. It's not Power 5. It's 5 highest ranked conference champions, and Army could be a higher ranked champion than whoever wins the Big 12, especially if BYU gets knocked out. And you're
telling the truth. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
I want to take Army. You guys both have said you think they're gonna keep it within the number. I want to, and I want to believe that this Army team can do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take Notre Dame here. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be the Navy. I don't think it's gonna be 48-14, but I still think that Notre Dame takes care of business here. But it would be pretty interesting if Army could pull this off.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. All right. The last football game we're going to talk about, unless John Roberts wants to do a pick for Texas and Auburn.
I think we should.
Auburn. But
I think we should.
All right. We might. So, all right. Alabama is a 14-point favorite at Oklahoma. Alabama is up to the 7 spot, and Hammonds, they jumped 3 spots and played Mercer last week. I have an issue with that. I like Bama. I think that they might be the top 2 or 3 in the SEC, but they were 10, played Mercer, an FCS school, by the way, and jumped 3 spots in the college football playoff. Come on.
I'll be honest with you. I don't like Oklahoma in this game. The going back and forth with quarterbacks has not been good for them, especially, you're already into your 11th game on the season, and now you have to play Alabama.
Are you picking on the Crimson?
Which Crimson?
And now you have to play an Alabama team that's kind of getting together. Bama's won their last 3 games by 29 or more, and 2 of those games were against ranked teams. So they will dominate this game. This game will be over by the end of the 3rd quarter. Oklahoma has no opportunity in this game. They're not good enough offensively to stay with Alabama. Give me Alabama give me as much as you want.
In Norman.
Oklahoma's not good. I'm sorry.
I just said it's a big statement in Norman. That's what I said. All right, John Roberts, what do you think?
The game won't be over in the 3rd quarter. The game will be over before halftime. Come on, let's go ahead and do it that way. The game will be over.
This ain't your normal. This ain't
not
your
a normal.
This ain't your normal Oklahoma team.
Y'all acted like they're not a normal.
Because Oklahoma's terrible.
Might as well be.
Oklahoma is terrible.
Yeah, they're not good. They're not good.
Oh,
have you watched them play all year? They're not good.
Oklahoma is Mercer? Lord, mercy.
They're not
good. I mean, let's be honest.
Mercy is all I'm
You mean to
say.
tell me that Oklahoma is going to be able to stop Jalen Milroe like as good as he's playing right now?
Yeah,
Oklahoma has a pretty decent defense.
Yeah, but they're not going to be able to score with them.
If Alabama sticks with basically with the run game like they have the last couple of weeks, they stick with the run game and they control the line of scrimmage at the point of attack. And I'm really talking about downhill running straight at Oklahoma. They will absolutely blow them off the ball and they will win. There's going to be a few times that Oklahoma may get back there with the way that they're playing, but yeah.
I'm just having a little fun because y'all are acting like they're playing Mercer again this week.
No. They're playing LSU again.
But it don't matter who goes to Norman. Oklahoma's terrible. Like, they're not a good football team.
Correct. They have a pretty good defense, Hammonds. I'm
not saying they do, but their offense is not good.
Defense is tired there, Brad. The defense is tired.
Yeah.
They're gonna be chasing around Jalen.
I'm gonna give you the floor here. Auburn, Texas A&M. Who you picking? I don't have this. I don't know what the line is. I don't know. But let's just pick it straight up. Who you picking?
Pick it straight up. Hold on just a second. Let's really get this in here because I want to make sure because I think
have the line, so I don't know.
Well, I'm going to give you whatever ESPN has as the line. So
okay.
2.5.
I think it's real close. Whatever it is. I just want to make sure I'm 100%. Yeah, it's close.
Texas A&M, isn't it?
Nope, at Auburn.
Isn't it
it's A&M. It's A&M 2.5. Mm-hmm. At Auburn.
Okay.
6:30. So. A&M 2.5. Yeah, I'm going to pick Auburn. I don't know if I'm going to pick them straight up, but I'm going to pick them inside that number. It's going to be one of those they win by 1 if A&M wins the game. But I'm going with Auburn winning this game. I'm going with that the freshman quarterback makes some mistakes. Even though he's a running quarterback and everything like that, I think Auburn contains them. Their defense has been one of the better defenses. They've had a pretty good defense. I think they're top 12 in the country with defense, total defense. I know that Texas A&M is top 12 in rushing offense. So it's strength on strength. They're going to the best thing that A&M does is going to go against the best thing that Auburn does. And as long as Auburn limits the big play, I think that they would be able to do it. The question obviously is going to be Auburn's offense versus Texas A&M's defense. Can Auburn move the ball like they did against all the really weak opponents that they have played and not get stuck in the mud like they have against some of the other opponents that they've played? So we'll see. But, yeah.
Evans, what do you think on this one? Just
I got
quickly. What do you
Texas
think?
A&M.
Listen, as much as I would like to take Auburn at home, and normally I probably would, I can't not think about the possibilities for next week with the two, one-loss teams with Texas and Texas A&M.
I mean, did you see Mike Elko's press conference on Monday? Did you see it?
So
he says
they
asked him, what are they thinking about?
Yeah, I did. Yes,
and he goes,
I did see it.
We're totally prepared for Texas. I mean, Auburn.
For Texas, yeah. I did see it.
We're totally
I did
focused
see
on Texas. Yeah. I mean, Auburn. And you're like,
I mean, Auburn. Yeah,
bro, you're a week off, man.
Yeah. It was kind of fun.
Trap
Come
game.
on,
This is a trap game for Texas A&M. 100% a trap game.
I didn't say it wasn't, but I'm going to go with A&M because I want to see those one-loss Texas teams go at it next week. So
I want chaos.
That's where I'm going to go. I want to see the Texas teams go at it. One loss. All right, we're switching to basketball. This game may have already started, so I want to get to it as quick as I can. But Baylor and Tennessee play tonight, and this is part of a Feast Week tournament that's going on. Hammonds, Tennessee is a 4.5-point favorite before the game.
And right now,
Baylor won on last-second shot last night.
Yeah, and right now Tennessee's up 23-4. Almost.
Well,
like
I was going with Tennessee just straight up, so I think I was going to go with Tennessee. So this is fun.
Let's see here.
That's why I was telling y'all this game may have already started. So
there's 11 minutes to go in the first half, and Baylor has 4 points still.
They started terrible last night and won in double overtime, 99-98.
So we'll see.
But man, this is Rick Barnes. This is regular season Rick Barnes, man. Come on.
I had already picked Tennessee. So I'm just going to keep it with Tennessee. I had already decided.
I was going to pick Tennessee because Baylor really hasn't looked good. I don't think top 13 good where they are.
Right.
So I was going to take Tennessee in this one as well, but I was
23-7.
trying to get through. I was hoping we'd get through it before it started. But this game is tonight as well. This one should not have started yet. This is another tournament, or this is Duke. Wait a minute. This is not in a tournament. This is Duke at Arizona. This is actually on the road. Arizona is a 1.5-point favorite at home. And it starts in about 30 minutes, I believe.
This should be an interesting game. After the Wisconsin loss, I think they're wanting a better showing. To be fair, though, Wisconsin was on fire that night. They scored 55 first-half points. They topped the 100 mark.
Yeah.
Arizona has Caleb Love, who,
Duke lost to this Arizona team last year in Cameron. They beat them in the last few seconds.
Kim Palm to me is I love to look at Kim Palm when it comes to these things. Kim Palm ranks Arizona 17th nationally. They're 15th in efficiency and they're 31st in defensive efficiency. Their defense is a little bit to be desired. Their offense is probably up there with some of the better offensive teams. It's interesting to see what Cooper Flagg does in a game like this on the road.
I respond after the Kentucky loss.
Yeah, I mean, they did beat Wofford Saturday, but now you come up to a stiffer competition.
I just mean in big games.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. So it'll be interesting to see what Cooper Flagg does in this game. I like Arizona in this game by the 1.5. I think it's going to be a tough matchup for the freshmen. You got to wonder who's going to step up for Duke in a big game. It just seemed like the freshman
beyond Cooper Flagg. I think Cooper Flagg's the real deal.
I do too, but I think Arizona takes this game. Wouldn't be shocked if Duke won it either. So.
John Roberts, what do you think on this one? This is an interesting matchup, I think.
I'm going with Arizona.
I'll say this. Caleb Love seems to really enjoy playing against Duke. He most of the time has some really good games. Of course, he came from North Carolina. He went into Cameron last year and beat Duke. And this one is at home. I'm going to go with Arizona here as well at home. But I do believe that this Duke team could shock us all and possibly pull this out at the end. But I am going to take Arizona in this one as well tonight. All right. I'm skipping through the weekend because there is some tournaments going on next week. We got Feast Week stuff going on. I believe, John, this is in the Maui Monday night or Monday, might be morning, afternoon. Memphis versus UConn I believe this one is the Maui tournament. It's Monday.
I think so.
And I do not have the spreads because they're not out yet. So we're going to do these without the spreads.
I like UConn in this game. You know, they got Aiden Mahaney from St. Mary's. He's a really good guard. They brought back Caravan. This UConn team has not really hit their stride yet. You know, I was reading a press clipping yesterday from a press conference where Dan Hurley said that the second half was comically bad, and I think they beat them by 30-something points. Like
they still won by 30 or 40 points.
Yeah, he's always looking for something to nitpick at, even in wins. I think every coach does that. But I like this UConn team now. You know, they haven't hit their stride, like I said, yet. And I think they will at some point in the middle of the year. They always do. I mean, they've won back-to-back national championships, so hard to deny that. But I like UConn in this game. But I do think Memphis will give them a decent run. PJ Haggerty is probably one of the better guards that people haven't heard about in the country. He can play basketball for Penny Hardaway.
Are you giving Little Penny any chance here?
No, not. I think it'll be close. I think it'll be close early, but I think UConn will put them away in the second half.
That's Kyra Banks, fool. I don't know if y'all remember that. That's one of my favorites.
It's been a long time. I do remember Little Penny, not Mini Penny.
Little Penny.
Little Penny.
I used to love me some Little Penny commercials.
Yeah, they were funny.
They were. The one was the Knicks, and then they had the Kyra Banks one. It was pretty good. Anyways, UConn or Memphis. Monday night.
UConn.
All right. I'm going to go UConn as well in this. Two-time defending champs. They got guys back. They brought guys in. I mean, until I see different, I'm going UConn. Also, I think this is also part of the Maui.
Yes.
John Roberts will probably know for
Auburn
sure.
is in Maui right now.
Yeah, I think this is part of the Maui opening rounds. Auburn versus Iowa State. Right now, I think this is number 4 versus number 5. On Monday night.
It is. I like Auburn in this game. I think, Johnny Broome, Aiden Holloway.
Sorry, excuse me.
Huh?
You said Aiden Holloway?
Oh, I was thinking of Alabama.
Wrong team.
I was thinking of Alabama. I forgot that I was thinking of Alabama. He played at Auburn, yes.
I was
thinking of Alabama. That's what I was thinking about. But they got Broome.
He was there.
They got a great set of guys that, can take over the game this year. Auburn does.
Man, they're like 10 deep, 11 deep. They're pretty fun to watch. I will say that.
They're fun. They got a lot of,
I promise you, I'm not going to knock on the basketball team, John Roberts.
They got Miles Kelly, Pettifer. It's going to be an interesting matchup with Iowa State. Taman Lipsey plays for Iowa State. You got Curtis Jones coming off the bench as a 6th man. Keyshawn Gilbert. This is a really good defensive team for Iowa State. They get up in your grill. We might be looking at the first team to 50 in this game. This is going to be a knockdown, drag out, physical.
I can't see them slowing this Auburn team down to not to 50.
Yeah, but
No,
Iowa
I can't see it.
Iowa State's really good defensively. Really good.
I didn't say they weren't, but it's gonna be more like a 75 or 80, if you ask me.
I don't know. I don't agree with that, but that's you. But they got a good defense.
This Auburn team's for real. I'm gonna tell you guys, this
Auburn
team is
get
for real.
a defense. But if you get a defense on you, it's going to be hard to get loose and get free to make shots.
All right, who you picking?
I'm picking Auburn, but I don't think it's going to be a knockdown drag out.
All right, John Roberts.
Of course, I got to go.
What do you think? I know you're probably picking Auburn.
Look.
I figure you're going Auburn.
You got Johnny Broome Janai Broome that you really. He has become an unstoppable force now because of the fact that he's
been impressive.
He's still
very impressive.
I mean, he's still developing the outside shot, which is the thing that the NBA told him he needed to get to improve on was his outside shot. He's taking more shots. He's making them. He's making some. He's still like 1 for 5 or 1 for it's still not the greatest of percentages from.
But man, he had 30 and 17 the other night.
Right, he had 30 and 17. He had 18 at the break, which matched his high.
He had 30 and 17 with like 8 minutes to go, and basically didn't.
Yeah, they
just coasted the last 8 minutes.
Oh yeah, they did. They definitely did. Once they took back over the game, at that point, I think who was it? North Alabama was a great shooting team. They were a team. They had a couple of guys that could shoot the ball. They were able to score 37 in the first half, and then Auburn put the clamps down and basically kept it where they scored the last those last points at the end. They got 32 in the second half, but really, in all honesty, there was a lot of garbage points that
it was
they scored right there at the end. So it's but anyway, Chaney Johnson's done really well, being very active defensively. He's actually started being able to score more points, which is something that had he been able to do that last year, I think the team would have done a lot better. But he's starting to develop where he's scoring more, but he's really good defensively. And then of course, length with the guards. So you're having, guys that aren't 5'11" as a shooting guard. Now you've got 6'1", 6'2", 6'3". You got JP Pegues, you got Pegues, you got Pettiford, you got Miles Kelly. Those guys can shoot. They're all really well, really good. So I do think that Auburn eventually wins the game. I think that Iowa State will put up it's going to be a really tough match. Auburn is about to go through a 4-game stretch that's pretty incredible with what they're about to play. So, and then of course, not only that, but the SEC schedule. And look, everybody in the SEC is going to be playing a tough schedule. So, but Auburn in this preseason plus what they're about to do in the SEC, they're going to play. They'll play Duke the first weekend of December after this. So not only will you have these 4 teams that you're dealing with in Maui, but then you get to follow it up with Duke and Purdue once they come back stateside. So
they do. They have a gauntlet, but I really, really like this Auburn team. They have been impressive. I have watched parts of 3 of their games so far, and they are really impressive. I have to say, Bruce Pearl's grown on me. I hated the man when he was at Tennessee.
We all did.
Hated him.
We all did.
When he was at
look. Hate him when he's against you.
I'm not gonna lie, but he's grown on me, man. Like, he's a really good coach, and I think this Auburn team's offense is going to be better than Iowa State's defense, and I'm going to take Auburn. So that's just how I see it, and we'll see what happens on Tuesday night. This is another tournament here, John. We got Houston versus Alabama. And like I said, some of these may be during the day because these are feast week games. But
Auburn
Houston and
Auburn was
Alabama
an 8
is a
o'clock
very
tip. So
okay.
I was just saying Auburn was
Houston
an 8.
and Bama is a very interesting game. So, Hammonds, what do you think on this one?
I like Alabama in this game. I think, it's a contrast of styles. You got a Houston team that likes to play physical, and then you got an Alabama team that likes to run the floor and play offense. I think I'm going to give the edge to Alabama in this game. Houston's playing a rough schedule right out of the gate. Kelvin Sampson's not afraid to schedule.
Here's what I want to say. They're actually going away from Texas, which is a shock, to be honest.
I think Alabama wins this game, and I think it comes down to probably the last couple possessions.
All right. John Roberts?
Is this in Vegas?
Yes. This game is in Vegas Tuesday night.
Okay. They have a predictor that
it's part
Houston
of it's part of that play. I think this is part of that player. It's part of that player tournament in Vegas.
Yeah, it's a players era.
Player NIL thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look, Houston, the ESPN little predictor thing's got Houston at a 69.1% chance to win the game. So they're saying that the physical style is going to overmatch whatever Alabama likes to do. And look, I mean, I just don't see Mark Sears having another game like he just had. I mean, Alabama won that game.
I don't either.
But he was left like.
But Grant Nelson was good, but Mark Sears was not.
Right. So, I mean, I just don't see Sears having as bad of a game. I think that was it Relaford or whatever the guy's name. I think he's a guy that's an outside shooter. I think he will have a game against Houston. Again, they've got to be physical. They've got to be able, this is one that Alabama's got to be tough down on the glass because look, Auburn was able to take those guys and neutralize those guys, and that was the reason why Auburn was able to take over the game. So it was Auburn's physicality and their outside shooting. Yeah. So they had to do both.
Yeah, this is one of the games that I watched.
Alabama needs to be able to play physical with Houston and be able to shoot the ball because that was something that they were that Auburn was able to do to defeat Houston. So I think Alabama can do it. I don't know if they will do it. That's the question.
Who you picking?
I'm gonna go Bama just because I don't like it, but I kind of feel like they're going to do it.
Well, this Houston team is a very good team defensively. Could they do it? But, man, I really like Alabama's offense, and I'm going to pick Bama in this game and go with it. Do I think Houston, can they do it? Of course they can. But I'm going to go Bama in this one. It's a really intriguing matchup. And then Tuesday also is Kansas versus Duke. And I think this is also in that players' tournament in Vegas. I'm pretty sure. Hammonds, I know you are intrigued by Kansas versus Duke on Tuesday night.
I am.
What do you think on this?
I want to see where Kansas stacks up. They've had a couple of games where they've kind of looked meh, and then they had the game the other night where they looked really, really good. I think this game comes down to the wire too. I do like Kansas in this game. Duke's going to hit their lumps here and there because they're youth. But I think once I even said it after the UK game, I think once the season gets going and you get into ACC play, I think Duke will get better and better, and I think their ceiling is going to get pretty high when they get to the tournament. But I like Kansas in an early matchup like this.
Okay, that's fair. I think so. John Roberts, what do you think here?
Yeah, so I'm going Kansas as well. I think, and so it looks like I'm picking against Duke for their next two games here. I think that they will take early losses. I think they take their early losses here. I think that they get stronger as the season goes, and they win more when it matters. I mean, like it matters now, but playing the tough games
Not
and
as
having
much.
those losses aren't going to be bad unless you just absolutely get blown out, or if these teams don't ultimately end up being as good as they were at the beginning of the year. It's the only time where this looks bad, but I don't think it will. I think that even a 5-point loss or whatever to Kansas won't be bad. So, but I think that they'll lose. I think it'll be Kansas.
With you guys on this one, for me, it's about experience. I mean, Kansas, they got Harris and the big guy, Dickinson in the middle. And I mean, they got guys that's been in college what seems like forever. I mean, and then you've got Duke that's relying on a bunch of freshmen in their fourth or fifth or sixth game here, whatever this is. I'm going to go Kansas in this one as well. And again, kind of like what Roberts just said, it looks like I'm going against Duke. And I think it's going to be – both of these games are going to be close. But we'll see. I don't know.
As we go for this last game, Tennessee just went to halftime hitting a three right at the buzzer. They're going to halftime leading 47-20.
47-20. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. This is the last game.
Doing
these because next Tuesday and Wednesday I'll be in Nashville covering Kentucky women's at a Music City Classic. So went ahead and done a few of these games through Wednesday. Wednesday, Louisville plays Indiana. This is also in a tournament over the week, next week. I think this is an intriguing game. You've got a new coach, Pat Kelsey here with Louisville, trying to turn them around. And Indiana is a ranked team, and it's kind of a rivalry here, Louisville and Indiana. So, John Hammonds, what do you think here on this last one?
Kind of interesting because you got a team, Louisville, that's got a new coach with Pat Kelsey. They struggled a little bit tonight against Bellarmine. They're going to hit their lumps, have their lumps in the middle of the year. And I think, with Louisville or with Indiana, they haven't been able to really finish games the last couple games. They only had I think a 5-point lead against UNC Greensboro the other night in the second half. It's going to be interesting to see how this game matches up. Because I think they're both trying to figure out what their identity is. And it should be a great early matchup. And I think whoever wins this game is going to have a leg up when it comes to having a signature win early in the year with these tournaments, because November games matter more than people think, because at the end of the day, when you win these games, it looks a lot better on your seeding when it comes time for.
Well, this is all for most of these teams. It's quad one wins, so it does help the resume.
Jimmy, we picked Arizona. He said, I'm late. Who'd y'all pick in the Duke game tonight? And I said, we picked Arizona.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I think all three.
All right, John Roberts.
Yep. I'm going to go Indiana. I'm going to go Indiana right now. I'm not really, you know me, I'm not full in basketball mode right now. I do have Auburn, probably a little bit of a
I
pulse on
got
Auburn,
you.
but that's
I mean,
about
this game.
the experience right now. So,
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, John, I feel like that Indiana should win this game. I think they'll be the favorite in this game when the lines come out. I think Indiana will be the favorite in this game, and I think Indiana actually should win this game. Woodson, I mean, he's done pretty decent there in Indiana. And Louisville is coming off of a few terrible years.
yeah.
But I think Kelsey has done a good job getting them at least started in the right direction.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be much, much, much better than what they have been. But I do agree with you. I think Indiana, should win this game. I'm going to pick Indiana here in this early tournament. And I think it'll be a good measure stick for Kelsey in this Louisville team, probably.
Yeah, this is an 11 a.m. tip on Wednesday. So this is
part of one of those tournaments.
The battle for Atlantis is what it is.
Battle for Atlantis.
ESPN's little predictor things got Indiana 60% chance to win.
That's what I said. I think Indiana will be the favorite here in this game. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And
all right. So that is going to wrap up our show. We did have somebody on here asking about Kentucky. We all think Texas is going to win this game. We all picked them earlier. I do want to point that out. And the coaching stuff, to be quite honest with you, man, we could spend a half hour talking about the stuff that's going on. I will point out that Vince Morrow is a real candidate, I'm hearing, for the Southern Miss job. So, that could play a role here with Stoops and staying at Kentucky. I've heard rumors of things. I'm not really – we here at College SportsCast really don't dive into rumors. I like to be a little bit more into, what's actually happening.
You mean you don't want to speculate on anything?
So I don't really like diving into rumors, but I will say this about the Vince Morrow thing. I am hearing that he is a real candidate for the Southern Miss job, that he's one of the top 3 choices, and they are kind of going back and forth with a few guys, but he does have a legitimate shot as a head coach at Southern Miss. So that's where I'll go with it for tonight, and we will end it there. For our game day pick'ems here, guys. It's been fun, and we will see you guys.
I gotta tell you, we have an upset tonight. Covington Catholic upset Boyle County tonight. The reigning champ.
There was a guy on here that said they were behind.
Yep, they just
I put it up on the screen.
31-28.
Jonathan Garrison, I think so it was. Yeah.
Yep, they
that's
lost
huge,
to Covington
honestly,
Catholic.
For them to lose in the state tournament.
Yeah.
Here in Kentucky, that's a big deal.
That's a big deal. Yeah. Have fun next week,
It
Brad.
is. I'm not going to say it's not.
Have fun next week, bro.
So I'm not sure exactly how we're going to do shows next week. Next week, of course, is Thanksgiving week. We probably will not do anything on Thursday night. I am going to be in Nashville on Tuesday and Wednesday. It's possible that I could be back in time to do a late show, like 8, 9 o'clock Tuesday, because the game is at 3:30 Central Time. So 5:30, an extra hour, 6:30, drive back. I could possibly do a later show, 8:30, 9 o'clock Tuesday night for a show. And then, of course, we'll try to do our Friday night game day pick'ems next week, even though it's a holiday weekend. John Roberts, I'm not sure what you got going on. So
My brother-in-law and
either spill the beans now or
my brother-in-law and his girlfriend will be in town from Chicago. They come Sunday. She will leave, I think, the following Sunday. He will stay for another couple weeks before going back. Yeah, I'm not really sure exactly what we'll be doing on Friday.
Okay.
I'm sure we'll be once I get done with work, because I mean I still have work.
Hey,
every day.
I gotta go. I gotta head out, boys. But happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Okay, man. I appreciate it. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, it sounds good. I'll try to do a show on Tuesday, and I still will try to do the Friday night show, the game day pick 'em that we do here. If John or the other John, we'll try to have at least two of us on, and at least do a show next Friday night. So, but we'll see, and go from there. So we will see you guys next week. We hope you have a very happy Thanksgiving week next week, and enjoy some football and basketball, because it's a great time for basketball, feast week. All right, guys, y'all have a good night, and we will see you next week.